Today I'm going to take you through making this lovely water simulation. Once you're in Blender, press A to select all and X to delete, and then press Shift A and go up to Mesh and add a cube. Duplicate the cube by pressing Shift D and then tab into Edit mode and go into Wireframe View. Then select the top two vertices and bring them down by pressing G and Ctrl. Now we're going to inset the top face by going to Face Select mode and then making sure that the top face is selected and pressing I to inset. About that should be fine. We can go back into side view mode and press E and Z to extrude in the Z direction. I like to press Shift to extrude precisely. So now we're going to go into edge select mode to bevel our internal edges to make it look tidier. So go into edge select mode and then press C to bring up the circle and select all four of these internal edges. Then you can press Ctrl B and scroll your mouse wheel in the middle to give it more subdivisions. We can go back into object mode and solid view. Then Shade Smooth by Angle by right-clicking and pressing Shade Smooth by Angle. But you can see it's clipping a little bit, so to fix this you can press N. And in the scale you can change this to 0.99. This will scale it down a little bit, which will stop it from clipping. Let's go back into side view, Shift A, Mesh and Icosphere. Scale this down, S and Ctrl. And then G and Ctrl to move it to about here. Now we're going to add the physics modifiers, so select the icosphere, go down to physics, fluid, and change this to flow. The flow type should be set to liquid, and the flow behavior should be set to inflow. Now we're going to click on the box, add fluid physics, then change the type to domain. Change the resolution to 75, and switch the domain type to liquid. Next we're going to scroll down and find the little box labelled mesh, and tick that box. Select our container, add fluid physics, and make it an effector. Now we're going to animate the pouring of water, so select your icosphere, and then go down to the settings, and you see the setting, use flow, that is what we're going to animate. So go to frame 9, and untick the box, use flow, hover over the box, and press I to insert a keyframe. Now go over one frame, like this, so that you're on frame 10, and then tick the box and press I again to insert a keyframe. Next you can move over to frame 30 and insert a keyframe with the same value of on. Go over one frame again and set a keyframe with the box unticked. Now we're pretty much ready to bake our simulation, so make sure your playhead is on 0 and change the end frame to 120. Then you can let it bake by pressing the spacebar. It's important to note that I sped this up a lot. It took me about 5 minutes, and your mileage may vary depending on your computer. If you zoom into one of these frames, you can see that the water itself is made up of thousands of tiny particles, which are then tessellated into a mesh. Which means that as well as simulating the water, you can also render it and turn it into an animation. To do this, you would go into solid view mode and then click and right-click on the water and press Shade Smooth. This would make the water look quite nice. Now if you play it back, it will have to bake again, but afterwards it will look quite smooth. Well, unfortunately, that is the end of the video. Next time, I'm going to be doing some fluid dynamics with a similar particle system, and also introducing you to forces. And as always, have fun, goodbye.